Excelente, muy buenos días. ¿Cómo están todos?
Bueno,
Yeah.
¿Bien? ¿Bien?
Bien, está bien.
Está bien, está bien. Me alegro. I'm happy. Me alegro, sí. Ah, me alegro, aunque me duelen las caderas, me duelen los hombros, me duele todo. Everything hurts. Hoy, ayer hice una caminata. Ah, Yesterday was hike day. Bueno, ok. Ah, ¿Qué vamos a hacer? Bienvenido, Lori, un nuevo estudiante. Muy bien. Y bienvenida, Debra, nueva estudiante. Excelente. Um, Welcome to both of you new folks. Welcome back to everybody else, see, who are familiar faces. ¿Qué vamos a hacer? Hoy, hoy vamos a, hoy vamos a escuchar un poquito más de lo normal. We'll do a little more listening than usual today, como ejercicio de calentar. Ah, ah, bueno, ¿qué vamos a hacer? Vamos a escuchar, vamos a aprender am, algunos términos breves, términos, palabras cortas, para usar en, en conversaciones de todos los días, in everyday conversations. So we're going to have an easy warm-up listening. It's going to give us some phrases that you might hear as alternatives. You know how it is that you learn how to respond to people like the easy everyday stuff of hi, how you doing, how's it going, all that stuff. And then you hear somebody respond back and it's not something you learned in your textbook and your brain goes, what was that about? So it's one of those things we always have to be prepared for. So we're going to start with a video that will give us some alternative things you'll often hear in greetings and in like very common exchanges that you should just be prepared. You may hear somebody respond using something that wasn't in your textbook as such. So we're going to start with that. And then we're going to start with the first half of, um, well, we'll have a preview. We'll have a little mini 10-minute lesson preview. Then we're going to have a half of a video. You're going to finish the second half for homework. And we're going to base your speaking next week, because next week we'll get much more heavy duty into just speaking. You're going to base your speaking next week on some structures, some ideas related to the video, not the exact content of the video, but general ideas that are used for the video. And it's a fun video because it's a cooking video. Okay. A ver. Um, I do, I got a suggestion, which was a good one, that we only really ask in this session that people are somewhat familiar with some present tense. And maybe you're not like, I'm on it with, all verbs all the time. But verb tenses are a big deal with Spanish. That is always one of the most challenging things for students to learn. And sadly, or I should say normally, what happens when you have listening videos, which I will give you a lot to use in the time we're off class till we meet the next time. A lot of times, little past tenses start slipping in. And you say, oh, what is that? It kind of sounds like a verb I know, but what the heck is that? Or maybe if you're in a crankier mood, blankety blank, why are they using that word? It sounds kind of familiar. Okay, so we're going to have during this fall session some little introductions to past ideas that you will hear typically, okay, that will slip in kind of under the radar, that you should be prepared. And how can you listen for that? And even if you cannot produce all the past tense, to listen and to know that they're talking about, oh, it happened then, not now or not future. So, hoy en día, today, hoy, vamos a escuchar muchísimo con una historia, con un cuento, with some story, ¿sí? Que usa el presente. We're not going to do past yet today. El presente, present tense stuff, y el futuro. So we're going to look at a little bit in this whole fall session with times, but we're going to start with what people are more comfortable with, which is the right here and now, which we call presente, right? And how also using presente, using that same idea, we project into the future. Okay, a ver. And we'll use that idea that we use a lot in listening today to talk next week. So we're kind of laying our basis this week. Pero vamos a empezar. We're going to begin with some easy stuff. They're going to be estos son chunks. These are really chunks. These are the thing we're going to start with our preview video that gives you typical little conversational things where it's the response you maybe didn't expect, but different ways to respond with conversation. Different phrases that will be maybe not from your textbook, but things that people will typically say. Okay, a ver, pueden ver el joven. Can you see the young man here?
Yes.
Sí, bien, fantástico.
Action that makes Spanish people have a deeper connection with you. We have all been there. You want to have small talk with locals to connect with them. When you try to speak, you translate from English to Spanish. You get stuck. You feel insecure and not sure whether you should try to talk. And you probably decide to stay quiet instead. But here's the thing, small talk in Spanish doesn't have to be complicated. And it's not about being perfect. It's about sounding natural so that you can be yourself. So today, I'm going to show you the top 14 phrases that locals actually use so that you can master those 1-minute conversations that make people remember you. I'm Celso Gil and I help people who move to Spain feel at home by connecting with locals and speaking Spanish with confidence. So the first one that we're going to see is hola. You can use
Okay, cuy, qué básico. Hola, hola, right? Hola, but not everybody will greet you with hola.
hola. Don't get me wrong. This is probably how you learn it. But if you want to make a difference and sound like a real native, sometimes what you can use, instead of saying hola, you can say buenas. Buenas. This is the
Okay, now why just buenas? Because it's shortened from generally buenas tardes, good afternoon. It's just a shortening of that phrase. But people will often respond with that buenas, right? See, buenas, okay? So it's just kind of cutting that buenas tardes or buenas noches short, that's all. And this is kind of used almost any time of the day, I believe. See, just buenas. They're not really saying good to you. They're greeting you as if you were, well, or if you say to them hola, they may not just repeat hola back. People tend to mix it up. We tend to mix up our conversations so that we don't reuse the same word back and forth all the time. So, muy típico.
buenas. This is an informal way to say it, but a really good one. Buenas, buenas. Now, instead of saying ¿qué tal?,
¿Qué tal? How you doing?
which there's nothing wrong with it, you can say ¿qué pasa?
¿Qué pasa? Literally what's happening, pero muy normal. ¿Qué pasa?
Pasa. And a quick tip for that is that when someone is asking you ¿qué pasa?, the best way to answer back is ¿qué pasa? Again. So, ¿qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? Or ¿qué pasa? Pues nada. Pues nada. Like nothing really is happening. You don't usually say ¿qué pasa? Bien or ¿qué pasa? Estoy bien. It's more about hey, what's up? Nothing. No? ¿Qué pasa? Pues nada. Next one. Instead of saying ¿cómo estás?, you can alternate and sometimes saying ¿cómo vas? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo vas? And combine.
And Como vas may also kind of pop up as como te va. How's it going for you? Como te va. It might be that instead. Okay.
Some of them. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo vas? Same thing with ¿cómo estamos? You can say ¿cómo vamos? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo vamos? By the way, you can find the full list plus a bonus list of verbs, everything for free, in the link in the description below. And if you find this helpful, let me know in the comments. It really makes me happy to hear that it helps you. Next set. Hace calor, hace frío. That's all right. What we can say instead is qué calor que hace o qué frío que hace.
Ah, muy típico. This is really typical, but I'm going to cut this even shorter. You may hear somebody just respond, que calor, and just cut it off right there. Que calor, how hot it is. Que frío, how cold it is. Okay. That doesn't even have a verb in it. People may respond using just that. Okay.
Qué calor que hace o qué frío que hace. This is just emphasizing how hot or cold is. Qué calor que hace, qué frío que hace. Instead of saying qué tal tu día, how
Yeah. How was your
was your
day?
day, you can say qué te cuentas. What are you up to? What are you telling me? What can you tell me? ¿Qué te cuentas? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo vamos? ¿Qué te cuentas? Next set. If you see someone and you want to say them, hey, you look good, then in Latin America, most of the times you will hear people saying te ves bien, but
And and I would say te ves bien is more common in Latin America, but the thing on the right, you may hear more in Spain. But the thing on the left in Latin America, you're going to hear all the time. Te ves bien. You look good. You're looking good. Te ves bien. Okay. Verse, not just ver to see, but verse, the reflexive, doesn't mean necessarily that you're looking at yourself. It means you look a certain way. Te ves cansado, you look tired. Te ves fantástico, you look great. See? Te ves bien, you're looking good. Te ves. Okay? We got ves, the tu form of ver, with the little te reflexive pronoun, and it means you look a certain way. And the word after it is the way you look.
in Spain, especially if you go to the street, what you're gonna hear is qué guapo que estás o qué guapa que estás.
Y guapo, guapo o guapa is handsome, good looking. Yeah, you do hear guapo and guapa even a lot in Latin America, a response for somebody. It's often used as a term, even in Mexico, a lot for, vendors who are responding to you. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a come on, but, looking good, que guapo. Okay.
How pretty or handsome you look. Qué guapo que estás. Qué guapa que estás. This is again emphasizing, no? Same thing as qué calor que hace, qué frío que hace, qué guapo que estás, qué guapa que estás. The next one really makes a big difference if you learn Spanish from school or in the academy, or if you really were living in Spain and you learn it from the street. If you want to say, I'm happy to see you, or so nice to see you, you can say, encantado de verte. Nothing wrong with that. But then the real way, the natural way to say it is me alegro de verte.
And I would say me alegro de verte is a little more natural. Encantado de verte, delighted to see you, enchanted to see you. Suena un poquito más formal. That sounds maybe a little more formal, but more from the heart as a response of somebody who says, "Oh, I am happy to see you. Me alegro, me alegro, me alegro de verte. Happy to see you."
alegro de verte. Like it's pleasing me or I'm very happy to see you. Me alegro de verte. Me alegro de verte. The next one is, for example, if someone is about to go to work and then you want to say something like, hey, good luck with your job, or you have all my support, no? Like to cheer someone up when they're going to work. You can say suerte con el trabajo, suerte con el trabajo, good luck with your job. But a real good one is ánimo con el curro.
And curro is a term you'll only hear in Spain, refers to trabajo. It's a different word they use to say trabajo. You will not hear curro so much in Latin America, if ever, but some people just, that very first response he's got of suerte con el trabajo, which you're wishing somebody luck with their work day. Yeah. Sometimes people just shorten that to suerte, suerte, good luck, meaning, have a lucky day. Good luck to you. But ánimo, ánimo is kind of, it's related to our English word of animation. Yeah. If you're animated, you're, lively. And ánimo is the same idea of suerte, but it's more of a way of cheering somebody on, using that word ánimo, ánimo, ánimo con el curro, ánimo con el trabajo.
Curro is a synonym for trabajo in slang Spanish. So curro means also trabajo. Ánimo con el curro. O suerte con el curro. And if you want to tell someone have a good day, a good alternative, instead of saying que tenga un buen día, you can say que pases un buen día. So you can combine them and it sounds really good. Que pases.
So those are just, equivalent, but pases, not pasas. You would expect to hear pasas from the verb pasar, an AR verb. Why is it an ES instead of an AS? Que pases. That you may have a good day, that you may spend your day as a good day. See, these are subjunctives and they're just wishing a good day. They don't know if it will go well or not, so they use that what they call subjunctive, which is pases.
Un buen día, o que tengas un buen día. Now this
Same with
one, when you're trying to
tengas.
translate and saying, hey, everything is okay, you can say, todo está bien, todo está bien. But you can also say, no me puedo quejar.
No me puedo quejar. I can't complain. Yeah, no me puedo quejar. Can't complain. Same idea as todo está bien, or even just leaving out está, todo bien is very, very common. A lot of times people will cut out that verb está, todo bien, all good. Yeah. And these are little shortening things that we do in English as well. No me puedo quejar, I can't
Me
complain.
puedo quejar. That literally means I cannot complain. And I really like this one because it's super natural and it really makes a big difference if you say todo está bien or no me puedo quejar. Now the next one is someone is sick and you want to tell them I hope that you feel better soon. Instead of saying te deseo una pronta recuperación, which will be a little bit more like sounding like Google Translate, instead you can say que te recuperes pronto. Que te recuperes pronto.
And a different way of saying that, and you can see and hear, this sounds like recuperar, sounds like recuperate. Okay, so that makes sense. Que te recuperes, que te recuperes pronto. There is a different verb you may hear instead of recuperes, que te mejores. Mejores, that you'll get better. Yeah. Mejorar is to improve, to get better, right? Mejor means better by itself. It's a description. We make it into a verb with mejorar, to improve, to get better. So somebody may also, instead of this recuperate kind of verb, they may use que te mejores, mejores, que te mejores pronto. May you get better.
O ponte bueno. Ponte buena.
Ponte
Now,
bueno.
instead of
Get
saying
better.
every single time gracias, 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 that sounds very repetitive, another way to combine and alternate what you're saying, it can be te lo agradezco mucho.
And this one, people, I think, who speak English shy away from because what a mouthful.
Yeah.
Gracias is easy, right? But that thing, holy cow, that's intimidate. It's intimidating. But look at it as the telo all rolls together, right? It's a chunk. Telo, telo, telo. Te lo agradezco. Agradezco. Te lo agradezco. Agradecer is to thank. The verbal action of thanking, and agradezco is the yo form. So therefore, it means I say thank you. I give thanks, sounds kind of formal, but I thank you, right? The verb form of it, agradezco, is the yo form. Te lo agradezco. Te lo agradezco. But people may very well say that back at you. So know that they are saying gracias. And notice that almost part of gracias is buried in the middle of this word agradezco. Kind of if you look at the GRA, that comes from gracias. It comes from the same base in Latin as gracias. And just know that this is just the verb form. That means I am doing it. I think. Te lo agradezco.
Te lo agradezco mucho. Agradecer is a synonym here to say thank you. Te lo agradezco mucho. Te lo agradezco mucho. And this one, of course, when you say goodbye, adios, it's totally fine. But how nice would be to make a big difference for the very last words that you're saying in that conversation. Instead of saying adios, how about saying nos vemos? Nos vemos. That sounds excellent. I love it. Nos vemos.
And this is very common. Sí, nos vemos. We'll see each other. Yeah, nos vemos, we'll see each other. Um, and hasta luego. And hasta luego may come out as hasta luego. You may hear it as it sounds like hasta luego, hasta luego. Hasta luego, see you later, until later, and nos vemos, we'll see each other. So they're just different responses instead of adios, adios. Okay? Bien? Vale? Sí? And I'll send you that little link para que sepan so that everybody knows. Oops, I've got my camera is not focusing. Come on, camera. Uh, Vale. Para que sepan, so that all of you know, so that you new folks know, at a couple of hours after we have class, I always send a follow-up email after every single class. And the follow-up email has the link to watch class. So let's say your car broke down or you had an appointment, you couldn't make it to class, you can always watch class on YouTube. Okay. I upload our class recordings to YouTube. And that email will have the link to the YouTube recording of class, and it'll have all the links for all the stuff we did, listened to, saw during class. So in that email, you're going to see a link to this particular video that has the easy little 14 phrases that you may hear that are not the textbook phrases that you are accustomed to hearing. Bien. Vale. Bueno, ok. Ah, bien, bien. Siguiente, next step. Next step. We're going to listen here, and this video is about cooking. It's about a recipe, una receta. My camera's bugging me. Okay. Es de una receta. So the thing we want to listen for that. Whenever you get a video, it's a good idea to turn on the subtitles at the bottom, and I'll show you how that's done. And what we're going for with the story is for you to get the feel of what's going on, to understand the basic uh, um, ideas being expressed without looking up a ton of words. And it's always good to click on the subtitles so that you've got both that visual and the auditory things going for you to piece that together. Bien. But in the bigger picture of things, the kind of structures she's going to use are things I would like you guys to prep for next week. So we're going to preview things you will hear. And also, uh, we are going to then listen to her story. And next week, I want you to come with an idea of talking about steps, things you do in steps, or things you do in sequence. Okay, see? So the general idea from the video is not necessarily a cooking thing, necessarily, but things you might do in steps or in sequence on a daily basis. Okay. Uh, our mini lesson before we have the next video. A lot of times Uh, we are used to seeing verbs in these forms, like you see here with querer, things you want to do. And, we know that in Spanish, uh, uh, the verb tells the story. It tells the whole story. It tells what the action is. It tells who's doing it. And it tells you when. It tells you when we're doing it. And this fall, we're going to focus a little bit more on the when. Okay. Um, and we don't think about this so much in English because you're just used to, you grow up learning to speak in switching between now and future and past. And we don't think about it at all. But in Spanish, verbs do change in form, and those forms are called conjugations. So here's a typical present tense, although this has a stem change. That's why you see the little things in yellow. That means that there's a vowel change in those verbs. But you can see that the O ending is for yo, the ES ending is for uh, tú, yeah, right? The e ending is for one person doing the action, right? The en is for two people doing the action. And these are for ER verbs because querer is an ER verb, right? We've got ER verbs and IR verbs. They tend to share endings. They will look similar to what you see with querer, except in nosotros, right? They do, ER verbs do hemos, IR verbs do imos, but in other respects, in other forms, ER and IR verbs share their forms. And AR verbs, the third kind of verb in Spanish, have A endings. They have an O ending for yo, but they have AS instead of ES, E instead of the A there, and or as good A instead of the E there, and AN here, and then amos up for our nosotros. So, por example, querer gets quiero. O is always easy and present because o at the end of a verb always means yo, I'm doing the action, right? And it's telling you when, it's telling you now. It could also mean near future, right? Like soon, the idea of soon. But in general, it talks about now, that presente, present tense. So, uh, quiero, quieres, quiere, queremos, we want, quieren, right? An AR verb like tomar. Tomar can mean to take, like take a bus, take a subway. Tomar also means this action of drink and eat. Yeah. ¿Qué quieres tomar? Generally is asking you, what do you want to have to drink? ¿Qué quieres tomar? So tomar, an AR verb, in the same thing you see in the block down here, conjugated in present, presente. Tomar, an AR verb, would sound like tomo, the O ending is the same. Tomas, toma, for one person doing it. Toman, for their drinking, they do it, more than one person. And tomamos, okay? So we always set up our verbs in this kind of format so that people have an idea of who's doing the action, right? Uh, the yo is up here. The plural of yo, which means we, I, and somebody else. I have people with me, is the nosotros form. Tú, the friendly you, the third person, which in this case you see as quiere. Third persons means you're talking about one person, but just one, okay? Not myself, one person that is not me, right? And then third person plural always has an N at the end, the letter N, but it'll be an AN for AR verbs and an EN for ER and IR verbs. And the third person plural means somebody, not myself, I'm not in the group, but a group of people, at least two or more. Okay? Bien. So, okay. Uh, presente. Present tense is what we are used to hearing and what you probably are at least a little bit comfortable with hearing and using. But sometimes we don't want to talk about, sometimes, sometimes we either need to talk about future, right? What we will do, right? What we're going to do. And in order to do that, we need this special verb, which most people learn in the early stages of learning Spanish. And that verb is ir. But instead of just using ir or a conjugation, a form of ir, we're going to combine it with a second verb, and it tells what somebody is going to do, right? The ir tells you who's going to do something. But es muy flexible. It's very flexible because I can throw any non-conjugated infinitive verb after ir. We just need a to go after it. So the only thing you need to know, and you're going to hear this a lot in the video, which is why we're previewing this, is that quite often this ir plus the little word a plus an infinitive is used all the time conversationally in Spanish, and it means somebody is going to do something. Okay, so it literally takes us into the future. It may only be 10 seconds into the future. It may be a couple days into the future. It may be a couple of hours into the future. Okay. So in order to know how to use this structure, which is so common, we need to know the forms of ir. And ir being a very irregular verb, it completely disappears when we conjugate it. Okay, they all start with the letter la letra B chica, that V letter. They all start with that for presente of ir. So the yo form is boy, and it will sound like really more like a B, but a very soft B. Boy. The tu form is vas, right? The form for one person, it might be él, he, it might be she, ella, it might be usted, you, formal, is ba, ba. This is what we call third person singular. Ba. One person is going to do something. Ba, ba. Okay. The nosotros form is vamos. Uh, you only hear this one in Spain, so we were not going to focus on it. But vais in Latin America, they won't use that at all. They'll ignore it because they don't like it. They just don't. But here's one in Latin America you will hear a lot, and it's third person plural. It's the plural of él, the plural of ella, the plural of usted. And if I'm talking about a group of people, I need to get an N at the end of it, right? And it's going to be ban, okay? Ban. So all the forms of ir, the little mnemonic device I used to use for 15-year-old kids, you go in a van. You go in a van. And they would remember it all starts with the B chica, that V sound, but it sounds more like a B in English for them. So, voy, vas, va, vamos, van. And that means somebody is going to do something. So here's how it's going to sound. We need the little there. And you know what? It's going to sound very fleeting because that little sound it's over quickly, right? But we need that little word after whatever form of ir you use. It needs to be there. You need to hear it. You need to say it. So the good thing is, after that little word we just have an infinitive, and it can be any infinitive at all. And that second verb, not conjugated, so yay, you don't have to do any conjugation. That second verb tells what action somebody is actually going to do. Yeah. That tells a story of what it is that somebody is going to do, whether it's 10 seconds from now or 5 hours from now. Okay. Voy a comer. I'm going to eat. Vamos a escuchar. We're going to listen. Ellos van a tomar un taxi. They're going to take a cab, right? Mi amigo va a pagar. And notice when you hear people saying a sentence like that, they won't stop between the va a pagar. It's all going to run together. Va a pagar. Va a pagar. Okay? Va a pagar. So that's how we use it. This is the structure you're going to hear used a lot through the video. So you're going to notice that sometimes she uses a plain old present tense verb like quiero, right? Or tomo, tomas, right? Sometimes she's going to use a present tense verb, and sometimes she's going to use these structures. So you're going to hear her doing a real mix up to tell her story of how to do this recipe. Okay? Bien? Vale? So we're listening for those two kinds of setups, those two kinds of structures. And those kinds of structures are what I want you to use and mix up next week. See? Bien? She's going to use these two structures, plain old presente and uh, vamos a or voy a, to talk about steps in what she's doing. You are going to next week come up with some steps you do in whatever your routine is for the day or the afternoon or the evening. You can pick anything, it's wide open. See? Bien?
Bien.
Okay. And the key to being able to use things like this is that repetition, repetition, repetition. So listen for how she has examples. So I'm going to show you how to turn on subtitles for new folks in case they've never done this. Anytime you get a video from me, which you'll get these a lot because listening is really the key to understanding any language. It's good with YouTube to know where your little controls are so that you can turn on free features that will help you. Okay? Okay. So in YouTube, when you turn on a video, because we'll probably just listen to the first half of this, and then we're going to do some baby step practice after that. Okay? Bien. This is a very long video, so we're only going to do half of it during class. But let's take a look at our controls. YouTube will always have some little tabs here at the bottom, and one of them is a gearbox settings, and that I'd like you not to mess with this time, but if you feel you must, hey, it's up to you. Uh, you can hit the little gearbox here, which is settings, and you can hit playback speed, and you could slow it down to 0.75. I would suggest you don't, because this is designed to be a slow video anyway. I would suggest you keep it at the normal setting. But what is probably more key is this button here that says CC, closed caption. So when you click on closed caption, you will see that whatever she says, there's an AI generated closed captioning, subtitles, if you will, for what she says. I would say these subtitles, because they are AI generated, once in a while there will be a little mistake or something it hears improperly, but I would say it's about 95% correct. Sometimes it's totally perfect. Sometimes it's only 95% correct, but that's pretty high. So if you have a hard time listening to a video without the subtitles, click on that CC button, and we're going to leave that on for now. And I want you to notice how she goes back and forth between present tense and ir a, ir a, to say what we're going to do, because she's going to lay out steps. First we do this, next we do this, next we do that. And that's what you're going to be doing next week, but you'll have all week to plan it. Okay. ¿Pueden ver a Andrea? Can you see Andrea?
Yes.
Sí,
Sí.
bien. Ok, vamos a empezar.
Bienvenidos a las recetas de Tita.
Welcome to Granny's Recipes. Tita is a little, instead of saying abuela, yeah, Tita is a way to refer to Granny, Nana, whatever word you use for grandma. Recetas or recipes. Welcome to Granny's Recipes.
Es el recetario de mi abuela.
Ooh, what do you think that recetario means? If recetas are recipes, what do you think a recetario is?
Recipe.
A recipe book. Yeah, the treasure trove of family recipes. Okay.
Mi abuela se llama Olivia.
My grandma's name is
Olivia.
Olivia.
Pero de cariño le decimos Tita.
But out of affection, we call her
Tita.
Tita. Le decimos, we call her. Normally, le decimos means we say to her. In this case, it means we call her Tita. Okay?
Este recetario tiene muchísimas recetas.
Wow. This recipe book has lots of recipes. And normally, you could say muchas recetas. That would be okay. But muchísimas amplifies it. There are very, very, very many recipes. Muchísimas. Ísimas slapped onto the end of something magnifies it. Okay, makes it a lot of or a higher level of. So we could say a ton of recipes. Muchísimas recetas.
Recetas dulces y recetas saladas.
What kind of recipes? Dulces?
Sweets.
Sweet recipes and
Salad.
salty, or maybe you'd say savory recipes. Yeah. Sometimes we say savory. What's the meaning of savory? Something that's not sweet. Yeah, see? It's got seasoning in it, savory. See? Saladas.
En esta serie vamos a cocinar.
Here's our first thing. Vamos a cocinar.
We're going to cook.
We're gonna cook. We're gonna cook. That's what we would say. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Una receta diferente en cada video.
We're gonna cook a different recipe in each
Video.
video.
Receta sorpresa y al
A surprise, a surprise recipe.
mismo tiempo vamos a aprender español.
And also we're going to
Learn Spanish.
learn Spanish. So, bien. She could have said aprendemos, aprendemos. She could have conjugated aprender, but it is very, very common to hear vamos a aprender. We're going to do this. Okay? And you don't have to always conjugate aprender if you use vamos a to say we're going to do this soon. Yeah, see?
¿Qué vamos a cocinar el día de hoy?
What are we going to
Cook today.
cook today? El día de hoy. She could just say hoy, but el día de hoy is today.
Vamos a ver.
Let's see. Let's see. Vamos a ver. Here is one of those chunks. And this, I would say, isn't necessarily even future. Vamos a ver is used so commonly, and it's like saying, let's see. Let's see. Vamos a ver. Vamos a ver. Let's see.
Chicos, bienvenidos a un nuevo video, una nueva serie con Andrea la Mexicana. Estoy nerviosa, estoy emocionada
Oh, how does she feel?
Nervous and excited.
And excited, right? Emocionada does not mean emotional, like, oh, emotional has kind of a negative connotation in English, doesn't it? Emocionada, excited, revved up. Yeah. Sí, emocionada.
Y estoy muy feliz de grabar este video especial para ustedes.
And how does she feel about recording, grabar?
Happy.
Very special.
Feels happy about recording this. Para ustedes, for you guys.
Este es el recetario de mi abuela.
This
Y
is my
hoy,
grandma's recipe
Andrea la
book.
mexicana no sabe qué va a cocinar.
Ooh, no sabe. And here's a plain old present tense. We're not saying she's going to know. Well, actually, it's a negative action, right? Instead of she knows what she's going to do, it's no sabe.
She doesn't know.
She doesn't know what she's going to cook.
Es una sorpresa para mí y es una
It's a surprise for me, too.
sorpresa para ustedes.
It's a surprise
Mi
for you
tita
guys.
es la mamá de mi papá.
Ah, tita is
The mother of my father, my grandmother.
Dad's mom. Yeah, the mother of my father. Remember, we don't have an apostrophe S in Spanish. So, Dad's mom is la mamá de mi papá. La mamá de mi papá.
A ella le gusta ver a su nieta, Andrea la mexicana, en la televisión.
Ah, she likes seeing her granddaughter, Andrea, on TV.
Así que yo decidí grabar estos videos
And here is how a past snuck in. You might think, whoa, decidir. It looks like an English word. It sounds like decide. But this is a verb, and it's very, very hard in any language to talk only in one tense. Yeah, it's hard. It's not a natural thing. We mix things up all the time. So this is one of the things we're going to explore, not yet exactly next week in depth, but soon, between now and the holidays, we're going to explore this. You start to hear a verb like decidí, and you say, wow, at that E at the end, what the heck is that? It is a conjugation, but it's not out of that presente.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's what you should know for now, for today.
So can kiss you?
Yeah. You listen for
Thank you.
what's the big idea here? Decidir comes from decidir means to decide. And that verb is talking about somebody doing the action. And oh, here she helpfully included the yo. Normally, people won't do that. So instead of saying, I am deciding to record, she's saying, I decided. So sometimes when this sneaks under the radar of they sneak in a past verb, it's because, as a normal pattern, we don't say, well, I'm deciding this the way I decided, right? And that has to be a past. And the past tense for yo is decidí, decidí. And it's got an accent on the end, see? Because the E at the end says that I did this. E, that is a conjugation, but it is a past one. Así que yo decidí, so I decided. Yeah. And people will probably even skip the word yo there under normal circumstances. It was there for emphasis this time. But they'll probably phrase it just as así que decidí. And they'll probably skip the word yo because decidí already tells that I did this. It's the form for ER verbs in the past. Okay. But for now, the important thing to know is that somebody is deciding, and helpfully, she gave us the yo connected to it. So here she's talking past. I decided to record.
para honrar a mi tita y también compartir con todo el mundo las recetas maravillosas de mi abuela.
So I decided to film these and to share them, compartir, compartir, yeah, con todo el mundo, with everybody, the wonderful recipes of Grandma.
Vamos a ver qué voy a cocinar el día de hoy.
And vamos a ver is the let's see. Here she doesn't mean literally we are going to see. This is just the colloquial way everybody says, let's see. Vamos a ver. Vamos a ver. ¿Qué voy a cocinar? But here it truly is putting it into future. Voy a cocinar. Let's see what I'm going to cook.
Y la receta es
The recipe is
crepas de espinaca.
crepas de espinaca. Crepas.
Spinach crepes.
Crepes are kind of what you might guess. We know what crepes are. Crepes, see?
Spinach.
Yeah, spinach crepes. Yeah. Crepas de espinaca. Here's a good thing to know. We say spinach crepes. Spinach describes what kind of crepes they are. They could be cheese crepes. They could be any kind of flavor, right? But in order to say spinach crepes, it has to have a de espinaca tacked onto the end. Crepas de espinaca. De espinaca tells what kind of ingredient is inside, what main ingredient that makes it different is inside of that thing we call crepas. Okay, bien?
Chan, 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 chan. Vamos a
Chan, 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 chan is just like saying ta-da. That's all it is.
ver los ingredientes.
Let's see the ingredients.
Necesito 2 huevos,
And now she's talking about, she goes back into presente, present. And necesito is referring back to yo. So I need, right? Necesito 2 huevos.
una taza de leche,
Una taza, a
Milk.
cup. Yeah, a cup of milk. 2 huevos, 2 eggs, una taza de leche, a cup
una
of milk.
taza de harina,
Una taza de harina. Harina. Harina is flour. Flour, not the pretty thing to look at in your garden, but the flour that we bake with. See? Harina.
media cucharadita de sal,
Media is you may think of it as medium and half. This is the word for half. Media cucharadita. Cuchara is buried in the middle of this. Cuchara is a spoon. Ita makes it little. So instead of a tablespoon, a great big serving spoon, cucharadita is a teaspoon. So media cucharadita is half a tablespoon, or excuse me, half a teaspoon, perdón. Media cucharadita, half a teaspoon. De sal.
Of salt.
Salt. Bien.
medio kilo de espinacas,
Medio kilo de espinacas.
Half a kilo of spinach.
Half a kilo, okay? So about a pound, right? Because a kilo is 2.2 pounds. So medio kilo, half a kilo, about a pound.
elotes,
Elotes, corn.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? In Mexico, they like to use the word elotes. In Spain, you would hear maíz, corn. So it depends on the region you're in. Some ingredients get different names in different countries, even though they all speak Spanish.
aceite,
Aceite,
cebolla
oil.
picada,
Cebolla picada.
Chopped onion.
Chopped spinach. Picada tells how it's prepared. Picar, it can mean to sting. It also, in this case, means chop up, cut up. Okay, so diced. Diced. Picada. Diced.
sal al gusto,
Sal
crema,
al gusto.
queso,
Here, AI made a boo-boo. Sal al gusto, salt to taste.
Y listo. Vaya, ok. Y ahora vamos al supermercado a comprar todos los ingredientes.
Ah, and now we have the vamos, and it's not a future, it's the actual physical action of going. So we're going where? Vamos al supermercado.
To the
Supermarket.
We're
super-
going to the supermarket.
Buy.
Yeah,
To buy the
Buy.
ingredients.
to
Yeah.
buy all the ingredients. Okay. And vamos al supermercado. Uh, Ir is almost always followed by a. Most of the time it is, right? Because we go to a place, therefore we need the little word a, or we're going to do something and we need the little a. Ir just takes the word a. It does, whether we're talking about a place or an activity.
Y si tú quieres la receta completa con las instrucciones, con los ingredientes y el paso a paso, puedes encontrar la receta en mi Patreon, Andrea la Mexicana, donde
Okay, and when she talks about where she lists the recipe, it's paso a paso, step by step. So that's what you're going to be doing, but not necessarily with a recipe, just with your daily activities next week. Paso a paso, step by step.
podrás descargar todo esto que yo tengo aquí. Bueno, manos a la obra.
Ah, manos a la obra. Great phrase. That is a chunk. Manos a la obra. Hands to the work. You wouldn't say that in English. Manos a la obra. Yes, hands to the work. Let's get to it. That's what it means. That's what you would say in English instead. Let's get to it. Let's get down to it. Manos a la obra.
Vamos al supermercado.
We're going to the supermarket.
Chicos, Andrea está de vuelta, estoy en casa y vamos a comenzar este experimento.
And she just showed you the Walmart. She didn't really go in, did she? Well, she did. She didn't show us. So, vamos a comenzar. We're going to start. We're going to begin.
Tengo la receta aquí y vamos a revisar si tenemos todos los ingredientes.
Vamos a revisar. We're going to
Review. Look over.
we're going to look over, we're going to revise, but look over. We're going to check out. Si tenemos todos los ingredientes, if we
Have all the ingredients.
have all the ingredients, we're going to check out, we're going to make sure, we're going to check out that we have all the ingredients.
Dos huevos.
Dos
Siguiente,
huevos.
una
Two
taza
eggs.
Yeah, 2 eggs. Siguiente
A
means
cup.
next. Next. Siguiente.
No.
de leche, una taza de harina. No puedo comer trigo, entonces
Oh, and now she doesn't have a going to. I can't eat wheat. She needs gluten-free stuff. No puedo comer trigo. I can't eat wheat.
vamos a sustituir harina de trigo por harina de almendras. Y
So she substitutes a different kind of flour. Instead of trigo, a wheat flour, she uses almendras. Harina de almendras. She uses almond flour. Okay. Trigo de almendras.
media cucharadita de sal. Aquí tengo
Half a
sal de
teaspoon of
mar.
salt.
Siguiente, necesito medio kilo de espinacas. Compré en el supermercado esta bolsa de 454 gramos. Casi.
Bien. Okay. And here is she threw in a past. Compré. And she doesn't helpfully tell you who is doing it. But you know that this looks like what infinitive that most people know.
Comprar.
Comprar. this throws the action of comprar into the past, right? And because she's talking about herself, we can maybe guess that she's the one who did the purchasing, right? And therefore she's saying, I did this. So instead of compro, I am buying, because she's not doing it right now. She already did it and it's done, right? The compré means that I did this. I bought. Okay. So you have a little preview of where we're going for the whole season. Yeah. See, not what we're doing yet next week, but just know that compré is a little past that got thrown in there. But you know that it comes from comprar. So yeah, we're going to assume I did this. I bought.
Medio kilo, casi. Vamos a usar una bolsa de espinacas. Dios mío.
And bolsa is a bag. Yeah. Right. Bolsa de plástico. It's a plastic bag. It could be a cloth bag, but bolsa.
Ok, 4 elotes tiernos. También hemos comprado 4 elotes.
And the hemos comprado is we have bought. We've also bought this. Okay.
Debo confesar que esto huele
I should confess.
terrible.
I should confess this smells awful. Ay. Okay.
También la receta necesita 2 cucharadas de aceite. Vamos a usar
2 cucharadas. And cucharadita is a little spoon, therefore a teaspoon. And cucharadas is a bigger spoon, therefore a tablespoon. Cucharadas. 2 cucharadas de aceite. 2 tablespoons of
Oil.
oil. Aceite is oil.
este aceite. Una cebolla picada. También compré cebolla en el supermercado.
And now she again is throwing comprar into the past. So you don't have to be able to reproduce that. Just know she's saying, I did this. Compré, compré. I bought.
Voy a cortar una cebolla entera. Wow, wow, wow.
Wow, wow, wow. Una cebolla. I'm gonna cut a whole onion. Entera looks like entire, and that's what it means, a whole. We generally use the word whole, WHOLE, in English for that idea. Bien? Okay. Vale. Bueno, I am going to stop the video here. Very often with these videos, you might have to listen twice to really kind of catch the finer points. So a good thing to do, and excuse me, I've got to make my camera doesn't want to center on me today. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué no? Why not? Vamos, vamos, vamos. Okay, mejor, a little better. Okay. Por lo general, generally, you need to listen to a video a couple of times to catch all the 5 points. Generally, you want to listen once for the big ideas, and then you want to go through it a second time to kind of fill in some of the holes in the Swiss cheese and get some of the details that maybe you missed the first time. So we went through basically the first 5 minutes that you see the setup and you hear her using plain old presente present and that vamos a or voy a. And you're going to hear that throughout the rest of the video. Okay? Bien? So we're going to come in next week. I'm going to give you the link for this in the email after class. And you will be able to go back and listen to the start again, but pick up the rest of the video. Here's what we're going to do for the rest of class. Y ustedes van a contribuir ideas. You guys are going to contribute some ideas. Okay. Todo bien. Let me pull up a new screen. And what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about rutinas y actividades. We're going to talk about routines and activities. See? Paso a paso, step by step. Okay, bien? That's what we're going to talk about, and we're going to show you things you will need to use to incorporate this into what you will bring to class next week. And we'll play around with this a little bit so that you've got a preview of what you're going to prep for class. Sometimes you might just need presente, just plain old present tense. And that will tell the story just fine. It tells what I am doing right now. And sometimes, wow, my keyboard is off. Let's adjust that again. Sometimes you're going to need ir, the little word and an infinitive. And that infinitive does get conjugated. And it tells what we're going to do. That's what she mixes in the video. So we're going to talk about steps that we do. Oh, voy a hablar. I'm going to talk first about my routine of my coffee. Soy una persona bastante religiosa con mi café de la mañana. I'm a pretty religious person with my coffee in the morning. Eso, no. Bien, 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 bien. Okay. Here's what I'm going to use as an example, but it will not be the only example of the paso a paso. And I'm going to mix these two things, the presente and the ir a. I want to talk about my daily cup of joe. Cup of joe. I want to talk about my vice, my caffeine vice. See? Okay, paso a paso. Paso a paso is going to be the step by step in that cup of joe routine. And I want to, I'm going to say what I'm going to preview the general idea of my routine. And I'm going to tell you when. Todos los días. Todos los días. Todos los días. I could have said instead, todas las mañanas, every morning, sí. Bien, hago mi taza de café. Todos los días, todas las mañanas, hago mi taza de café. Hago mi taza de café. I make, and the hago tells that I make this. And I'm going to sometimes use presente, like I used hago, and sometimes I'm going to throw in here and there things I'm going to do. And I'm going to start off with, I'm just pondering this. Vamos a ver.
Let's see.
Let's see. Bien, sí. Ok. Tomo una taza cerámica del gabinete. I take a ceramic
Cup.
cup out of the
Cabinet.
gabinete. Sí, and I just need tomo, ¿sí? Voy a poner el café en la cafetera.
Then I'll put the coffee in the cafe.
I'm going to put the coffee in. Ooh, ¿qué es cafetera? It's not cafetería, it's cafetera.
carafe.
Coffee pot.
Es,
Coffee.
no, Es la máquina, la máquina.
Coffee maker.
Machine, a coffee machine.
Eso, sí, muy bien. Voy a poner el café en la cafetera. Entonces, voy
Then
a poner
put
agua
water,
en la cafetera.
coffee maker.
Yeah, I'm going to put water in the coffee maker. Let me get this thing here. Let's make this bigger. Mejor, better. Okay.
Should you put
Ah,
por mañana after that?
por
I'm
la
going to
mañana,
put, yeah, I'm going to put water in the coffee maker for por la mañana.
I could add por la
Yeah.
mañana if I want to say that I do this when I do it in the morning. I could.
Oh, okay.
See?
You did the morning. Yeah, I
Because
don't,
I've set
I do
it
too.
up here, probably I don't need to repeat that idea, but you
Oh,
could. Es posible. It is possible. Okay. Uh, okay. Um, uh, hago. I'm not gonna use that one. I'm gonna use prender. Prender means to turn on. Can also mean to light something, but I'm not like at an open campfire, so that really isn't relevant. Uh, prendo. Prendo is yo doing the activity. Prendo la cafetera. I turn on the coffee maker. See?
Mhm.
Prendo la cafetera. Am, por fin, I'm talking about finishing up. See? Por fin. Ah, por fin, am, mm, pongo un poco de leche.
Put in a little coffee. I mean, milk.
Little milk, ¿sí? En el café.
Put a little milk in the coffee.
Sí. Sí, bien. Okay. Uh, I could also phrase that as, oh, perdón. Let's change this up a little bit. Por fin. Let's change it up by doing a voy a poner. Oh, because it's not made yet. I'm going to put voy a poner. Voy a poner un poco de leche en el café. Bien? See? Here you've
Mhm.
got a little template. Yeah. And I'm going to highlight these. I'm going to put all the ir a in one color. And then I'm going to highlight all the present in a different color so that you can follow that. See? Bien. So what I want to do now with the time we've got is just have you contribute, throw out some ideas, throw out, not in a bad way, in a good way, uh, toss out some ideas of things you're going to do today. See, Deborah,
Oh, me? But
you had a hand up.
no, I just had it like this. I didn't have my hand up.
Oh, okay, okay, bien.
I'm
Ah,
thinking.
bien, ok. Está bien, sí, estás
What are you
pensando,
doing?
you're thinking, está bien, está bien. Ok, bueno, sí, Jean.
Sure, I'm going to take a train today. So like I have to buy a ticket. I have to park my car. I have to buy a ticket. I have to get on the train.
Oh, you've got many things to do. Okay,
hmm
give us maybe two or three ideas of what you're going to do.
I have to drive to the train station. I have to park my car. I have to purchase a ticket and get on the train.
Muy bien. Let's put that on the screen since those are such good um, ideas, but I need to change I'll put the screen back up for us here. Un momentito. Ok, bien. Un ejemplo de Jean, un buen ejemplo, a good example from Jean. Let's put this up and we're going to follow your little steps. Okay. Jean
Mhm.
va a tomar un tren. She's going to do this today. Okay. Los pasos, your steps. Tomo el tren hoy. I'm taking the train today. Okay. El primer paso, first step, Jean.
Drive to the train station.
Drive.
To
Let's
drive.
just, yeah,
Montar?
voy,
No,
vo-
Is that in Phoenix?
voy
no,
a.
in Chicago.
Sí,
Oh,
está en
okay.
Chicago, es
In
muy
Chicago.
común. Sí,
Mhm.
en Chicago hay un sistema de trenes
Mhm.
y los trenes conectan las afueras, the suburbs, las afueras con el centro de Chicago
Sí.
y con las otras afueras, with the other suburbs. Bien,
Mhm.
ok.
Mhm.
So I'm going to drive. ¿Cómo se dice drive?
Manejar.
Manejar.
Manejar. In some countries, you may hear that expressed as a different verb. It means the same thing, but
Um,
yeah, manejar. Voy a manejar a la estación
The station.
de trenes, ¿sí? De tren, a la estación de tren. Voy a manejar.
Mhm.
Mhm. And let's say next, después, I'm going to put in this just is a step that means next, right? Uh, después, park.
mhm.
Mhm.
Should we say park? Voy a estacionar mi carro. Voy a estacionar mi carro. What should be the next step, Jean?
I need to purchase my ticket. So
I
boy,
need
yeah,
let's use the
boy, I
need.
guess
Let's use the yeah,
necesito
yeah. Necesito. Let's use
com
that I need.
com
Necesito
comprar un boleto
un
or un boleto.
boleto. Sí, un boleto. You may hear tiquete. There are different words that are used for ticket. So you may hear tiquete depending on where you are. Sí, pero un boleto. I need to buy a ticket. Sí,
Mhm.
necesito comprar un
And
boleto en la estación. ¿Sí? Bien.
yeah,
Okay. Next step. Let's
um,
do one more.
um, I need to get on the train,
Oh, get on the train. Oh, shoot.
climb the stairs to the train. I don't know.
There's a really easy word. Whenever you want to go up in the direction of up, whenever you get on a vehicle,
Mhm.
it's the same verb as go up.
Here.
Y por fin subo, ¿sí? Al tren. And next I get on the train because you actually take a step up to get inside the vehicle.
Oh,
That verb subir,
yeah.
it means both. It means two things. It can mean to go up like stairs. It also means to get on or into a vehicle. And in this case, the vehicle is a train. It could be a car. We use subir to say get in a car. Yeah.
Can I do one more step?
Sí, 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 claro.
So then I get to see my new grandbaby. That's why I'm taking the train.
Okay, let's
So
do this.
después,
Lo hago, I'm doing this
mhm.
porque, and now let's say I want to do something.
Quiero.
Quiero
Quiero
There.
ver
ver
A mí.
a
Need
mi
Me.
Nieto.
Nuevo
Nieto.
nieto. I mean, nieto. Let's just make
Yeah.
it nieto. Make it easy. Nieto. Ah, felicidades.
Mhm.
Felicidades. Congratulations. Sí. Porque quiero ver a mi nieto. Sí, lo hago. I'm doing it. Lo hago porque quiero ver a mi nieto. So now we've got a great little, un ejemplo and a great little example. And now this has, maybe these are too many steps for you. Maybe you want to make it something simpler and briefer. That's fine. Like
Mhm.
3 steps would be great. 3 steps would be great, but maybe you don't want one as long as this. But this lent itself beautifully well, and you can mix it up. Voy a manejar, voy a estacionar, and here just a plain present tense. Necesito, I need to do something, and we just need necesito because we don't say I'm going to need. Voy a necesitar. That's not maybe as comfortable. Just
Mm.
necesito, plain old present tense. And I'm getting on the train. Soy al tren. Yeah, probably just that. So, you can mix it up. Plain old presente, subo. Plain old presente, necesito. Voy a, gonna do this. Voy a, gonna do that. Okay? Bien? Magnifico. Let's see. Is there anybody else who's got another example of how we might combine things for next week?
I was going to make a smoothie.
Make a smoothie. Fantástico. Okay. Bien. And you know what? We're going to give kind of a generic name to this smoothie thing. Okay. Uh,
Fruta?
we're going to call it batido. Batido is a shake. Shake and a smoothie kind of close. Yeah. Okay.
Would smoothie be smoothie?
You probably will hear smoothie in places. Yeah, you probably will. Okay, but we'll use batido. Okay. Ooh, let's think about some steps for making a smoothie.
Cut the fruit.
Bien. Let's start off with setting our idea up. Quiero tomar un batido. We're just saying what we want to do. I want to drink a shake. See, we got to cut the fruit. Voy a, and now we need a cut verb.
Cortar.
Cortar.
Uh,
Cortar. You know what? If you want to make them very small pieces, you may hear a different verb. Voy a cortar, voy
di-
a picar. Picar is the chop. Chop, chop, chop.
dice, yeah.
Dice, like dicing. Yeah, dice. Okay, voy a cortar, voy a picar. We're going to cut the fruit.
La fruta.
La fruta. Voy a cortar la fruta. Bien, okay. Bien. And we had a voy a. Let's do another step in the smoothie process.
Put into the machine.
Oh, put it in the
Blender.
blender.
Ingredients.
Blend, yeah.
Okay. Okay. And okay. Ba 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 ba. La because it's going to represent the fruta.
Mhm.
La pongo, I put it. In Spanish, the order of the words is it, I put. It, I put. Okay. And the la is representing la fruta. It's the it. La pongo en la licuadora.
Ecuador.
Yeah, licuadora. It's the, yeah. Okay. En la licuadora. Con C. Licuadora. En la licuadora. Bien. Okay. Do I turn it on?
No, 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 no. Mit
No, no, no,
leche.
no. Okay. What are we going to do next?
Mit leche.
Add
Add
milk.
milk.
Leche. Ooh, you want to add some milk, yeah? Añadir is one word we might use. We could use poner, but let's say we don't want to repeat poner all the time. ¿Cómo se dice I'm going to add? You say, oh, añadir. I'm not comfortable with what I do to conjugate that. Let's use a voy a. I'm going to add.
Voy a añadir
Voy a añadir. Voy a añadir. And just some milk.
la leche.
Leche. Sí, sí, sí. Eso, sí. Bien. Ok. Siguiente. Next.
Turn on the machine.
Turn on. And prender is to turn on.
I'd put the cover on first.
And we can just conjugate that for yo because that's easy. The yo is usually an o. So I turn on is
Prendo.
prendo. Prendo la licuadora. ¿Sí?
Or 5 minutos.
Por. How much time?
Mhm.
3 minutos.
3 minutos. Let's see. 3 minutos.
Yeah,
Bien. Yeah. And you're there. See? Bien? Makes sense? So you've got two great examples. Gracias. Muchísimas gracias. You've got two examples. They can be shorter than those, but that gives you an idea. So this can be for anything you're doing in your yard, in your house. It can be a boring job. It can be a fun job. It can be anything that you're going to do. It can be deciding what to watch on TV. It could be any task you have to do during your day. Bien? Or it could just be a series of the things that you'll do, like, in a 3-hour period, just very much in general. Okay? Todo bien? All good?
Todo bien.
And I'm going to
Yeah.
color code
Muy
some of those so you can see how we can mix those up. Now, I will want you to finish the video, and that's a longish video, so it'll take you some time. Do not listen to it as I must translate every single word or sentence. That bad strategy. Do turn on the subtitles and listen once for the big ideas in general. Listen a second time to try to fill in some of the holes. If there are things in the video that you just totally don't get, make a little note of what minute mark that is. Yeah. Come to class and we'll review anything you need to review. But it's loaded with examples, right? And I think she puts a lot of them in the we because we're making the recipe together. So you'll hear a lot of the we vamos a examples in there. It's a little bit heavier on that kind of example. And then next, so we'll start class next week with any questions you have to finish up on the video. And secondly, we'll take some examples of some simple steps that you do in a typical day or on a special day or whenever. See? And wide, wide, wide open. Okay? Todo bien?
Muy bien.
All right.
All good?
Gracias.
Thank you.
De nada, de
Yes.
nada. So we're going to keep in the here and now and near future for next week. And then we're going to start after next week to take some little steps and, like going backward in time and ways that you can tell to do that and some easy verbs to do that with. Okay? ¿Todo bien?
Sounds like
Yeah.
fun.
Bien.
Bueno.
Magnífico.
Gracias.
Muchísimas gracias. Muchísimas gracias por participar. Espero que tengan muy buen día. I hope you have a really good day.
Gracias.
Y
You too.
también.
See? Excelente. Next week, you guys get to jump in a little bit harder and practice a little bit more. Bien. Gracias. And any questions you have during the week, feel free to send me an extra email. No big deal. Bien.
Okay. Adios.
Hasta luego. Hasta luego.
Hasta